I'm gonna try it out. Fry on Sunday.
Yeah, man, and it's not greasy. You're not getting grease on you. Like and it has like a little trap. So if there's any like little residual grease or anything like that, it goes to the bottom. So it's not marinating in grease while it's cooking.
Right.
Check out the air fryer, yo. You know, but yeah, let's be healthy. It's 2021. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to eat healthy. Like I said, we got the air fryer. We be doing it. You know, trying to live right. You know, we're not as consistent as we should be, but we are making those strides to get there. And I think everybody should want to be healthy. You know, I don't think, and it's not something that's just gonna, once you start working out, the weight's gonna drop off like that. Like, nah, it takes time. You know, it
takes time. It takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, so they wild.
Anyway.
They wild.
Yeah.
They wild. But that's my 2 cents. That's your 2 cents.
I got one more thing.
What you got?
So let's talk about this marriage thing real quick. Topic. Do you think it's beneficial for a man, just a man, we don't have to put in a box. Is it beneficial for a man to get married in 2021?
And that's funny you asked that. That's funny you asked that, because I've been hearing that same question lately myself. And to give you context, I'm hearing 2 different arguments. Or I won't say 2 different arguments, but the approach. And I might be approaching this wrong. So I listen to Kevin Samuels. Well, I watch Kevin Samuels. He has a lot of great information. A lot of stuff that he talks about. I'm like, okay, I can see that. You know, you be doing. He does his thing. He makes great content. He blew up, whatever. But one of the things that he does say, I hear him a lot say, is he's for Black marriages. He does state that, right? And me, I'm for Black marriage as well. I love us, the good and the bad, the Pookies and Ray Rays and the Wakises and all of that. I love us, the good and bad. There's not, you know, saying anything wrong with any other race. It's just, I love us. We're so diverse, you know, there's just, it's never dull. You're always gonna see something. Like when people like, this only happens in like New York, or this only happens in Detroit, or this only happens like wherever. Nah, this only happens in like, it's never dull. There's always a different type of Black person, male or female. Like, I love us. We're the shit. We're the best. I'm sorry, I gotta put it out there. Black people, male, female, regardless of what spectrum, how much money you got, how not money you got, whatever. I love you, man. I love us. We are awesome. I just have to put that out there. And I mean that to the deepest parts of my soul. I love us. I love you guys. You know what I mean? And I want us to succeed.
Right.
You know, and that doesn't necessarily mean everybody is rich. I mean, if that were possible, it would have happened. But I just want everybody to be in a place where, at the bare minimum, at the base level, everybody, they're comfortable and they're okay. Like, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see brothers having to hustle unless you're hustling for your business, you're working, you're going to school. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that type of hustle. And I think that term has definitely shifted over the last decade or two. You know, I mean, it's all about context now. Because before, the first thing you thought about when you heard hustler was a drug deal, black drug deal. But now, and I think black people have actually made that shift in what a hustler is. Now, I think it's gotten to the point to where, depending on how you're hearing it in the context of the word being used, you can then be like, okay, they're talking about a drug dealer, or they're using in the term of, I'm busting my ass, I'm grinding every day to make sure my business is successful, or I succeed, or whatever. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, to answer your question, what are the benefits? I don't know. I don't know the benefits. I don't see any benefits. But what I do see is two people that love each other come together for something bigger. You know, whether it be they love each other, or there's something that is attracting them to each other. And then them building on that, having a long lasting life. You know, I've been hearing that marriage, you shouldn't be happy. It's, you know, it's a business. It's more, you know, this, that, and the third. It's very compartmentalized. But I look at it like, if two people love each other and they want to take that next step, take it. Now, if male or female, if you still feel like you still got that itch, you know, you still feel like you got to be out there, you got to be for the streets, don't get married. I mean, it's just that simple.
I think that might be the issue. I think that might be the issue. Do you feel? Well, let me answer it on my end.
All right, yeah. How do you feel about marriage?
I think so.
Or do you think there's a benefit for a man to get married?
See, it all depends on what we're seeing or what we're saying is a benefit. I mean, the one benefit of marriage is that you have a partner in crime. You know, and it's set in stone. Now, people do step out, but for the most part, I know if I was to get married, it will be a situation or a person who I felt I couldn't be without. That's the difference. So when I walked out now, I see me with some man, he really feels like that's somebody who he can't be without. On the flip side, I think the thing that really has, and I think let's just talk about men in general. I don't feel I was ready to get married in my 20s. Like, mentally, not ready. I wasn't ready to stop, you know?
Yeah.
Being out here. So
exactly.
I think, like, when I see, if I had someone, a young man coming up to me and I was like a mentor, and he was like, man, like, I'm really feeling this girl, you know, but man, I'm only 22. I'm like, man, you still got a lot of growing up to do. Y'all both do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, it's just my opinion, I wouldn't recommend getting married young. I think if you're something to really talk about, if you're established, more mature, in your 30s maybe. I know some people are not even ready in their 30s, 40, 50, and they never been married. And that's whatever floats your boat.
Now, are you talking about for a man to get married in his 30s? Or are you talking?
I think I think there's been a idea implanted in little girls early, that you have to get married. You have to find this man. And this whole cartoon princess fairy tale type of stuff. And I think that might not be realistic nowadays. So as far as like women, I think they might be ready to settle down. I think they might be. I'm speaking on like, I think a young man, in their 20s is ready to be committed.
Yeah.
With all the stuff running around.
I agree. I think if you're in your 20s, you should work on you. You know what I'm saying? Focus on you know, your career. You know, if you're still trying to get schooling because you want to be a lawyer, doctor, you know, definitely focus on that. Don't worry about getting married right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but you got time. Unfortunately, ladies don't, and not just because of biology, but as far as men, take your time. Get yourself together. Get a good job. You know what I'm saying? Establish yourself, and then then think about getting married. But early in the 20s.
And I would say this too. I would say this as far as like even when it comes to women. I think there's been a shift. Things aren't like they're not like how they were when our parents were younger. So I think there are women who are okay not being married. Yeah, I think they're okay, and you know I can't knock them for that. But it's just one of those things where I think everything is different. Like this is not the age of our grandparents and our parents. Like things are different. So I think it just comes down. Like I said, I can only speak for myself, and if I'm walking down that aisle, it's for somebody who I feel is super special, who I can't live without. So other than that, and I have never been married. So up to this point, I'm engaged, but up to this point, I haven't crossed that point. So obviously, I didn't feel that way about people in my past. And so I think it's just one of those things you have to do what's best for yourself. And but like as far as like marriage is concerned, the divorce rates are really, really high. I feel like our age group, I don't think a lot of people are getting married. A lot of people are getting divorced. And so I think it's just totally different than how it was when we were young.
Mm-hmm. Now for me, on top of that, I have there's two things. So one, when it comes to the divorce rate, well, I should say this, when it comes to marriage, 1 in 4 women will get married. 1 in 4. But 80% of the divorce rate are initiated by women. Now, what I'm about to say is not necessarily what I think, but what people have been saying, right? So 1 in 4 women will get married. 80% of the divorces is initiated by women. Now, one of the arguments about why the argument for marriage not benefiting men would come, a big portion of that would come down to divorces in general, because men are scared that, as an example, well, I can't use that as an example, but men are scared that women, after a certain amount of time, are going to be like, I'm done. I want a divorce. And the way the system is set up with the courts, that man is going to have to now give half of what he owns to that lady because she felt, I'm tired, I'm done. And I think that with that type of situation, or with just in general, women initiating it and then men having to give half is starting to be like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to get married. Now again, that was
sure, but...
Well, okay, so real quick, so that again, that wasn't me. That wasn't me saying that. I'm just saying that's what I've heard and that's what is being talked about. Now, the way I look at it is if you're going to get married, if you're going to be in a committed relationship, you have to be, I really think you have to be there mentally. You know, like you said, you weren't ready in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ready to settle down. I think you have to be there. You have to be there mentally, like, all right, this is what I'm about to do, you know, and this is the step. This is the next step. Like, I just think you have to be there mentally. It has to be something that you both want, you know, and it has to be something that I think when it comes to the vows, the good and the bad, nowadays, it's just, if it ain't good, I'm out. You know, there's no.
I think a lot of people. I just think nobody really wants to work on things. I think like my grandparents went through stuff, they just stuck it out, you know. And I'm saying it's your life, do what you want to do. Now, one thing I will say about that statistic, it's pretty high, saying 80% is initiated by the woman. But like I said, there's no context behind that statistic, so we don't know what's going on with those divorces. But I will say this: if a guy is automatically thinking about his chicken, you know, his money, don't get married, dog. Or there's something called a prenuptial agreement. And so if you're the breadwinner, you can protect yourself. Mm-hmm. But saying that just the thought that just men are worried about the divorce, that's assuming the man is the breadwinner in that situation. I just saw.
Well, I mean, that's in general.
The little situation with the singer Adele, if we're talking about that, she had to pay alimony to her because she makes more. So it's one of those things where, I don't know, it's kind of tricky, man. It's just one of those things. I think like male or female, if you're not ready mentally, don't walk down that aisle.
Yeah, that's how I look at it too. Like it's like you can't take an oath like that, you know, through thick or thin, good or bad, and then bail. Like it's, and I'm just talking about in modern times. You know, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying in general, like I think that it's. Yeah, I think you just have to be. That's something you have to be mentally ready for.
Right. And like I said, I shouldn't even talk too much about the subjects. I've never been married, so I don't have no dog in this fight. I'm just saying, I think that's like my little 2 cents if we're talking about it. Because
yeah,
I feel like man,
I look at
you're
it
not
like
ready for that. I think
go ahead.
I think a lot of people get married just to get married, just to say, oh, I'm married. So I think people get married for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I think social media has a lot to do with that nowadays. Ladies wanting to have that dope wedding where people are dancing, doing the dancing, and they got a nice little reception, and they got a beautiful wedding. And I think it's more so focused on that, on the actual just the wedding and the reception aspect versus actually like what comes with being married. You know, what that all entails. Like you said, I haven't been married. I haven't, none of that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I do see a decline in marriages in general. But I didn't know, you know, how it was in the Black community, you know, and now that I know, I do see a need, like the family unit the idea of a nuclear family is starting to fade, if it hasn't already faded already, you know. And I think a lot has to do with the economy, what's been going on, you know. A lot of people, you know, if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, a lot of people got bad credit. The job situations is fucked up right now. You know, I think there's a lot of external reasons for why people aren't getting married. And then you couple that with personal issues, men, women, black, white, you know, who's the alpha, who's not, you know, who's making all the money, who's not, who's staying at home, who's not, you know, feminism, all of these different issues that are external but can also affect you personally have, I think, compounded on what marriage is, what work it entails. I think people have gotten used to that New York minute, microwaving everything, just happening mad fast, and not understanding the work that it takes to have a happy marriage. You know, I think that the word ladies get, and I'm not saying all, I'm just saying, again, from the conversations I've heard, ladies don't like the word submissive. And that word is very triggering, almost like somebody calling us the N-word. Like when women hear the word submissive, they automatically think trampled, walked on, under my heel, do whatever I say,
weak.
Like there's so many negative connotations with the word submissive. And I think when I hear the word submissive, yes, it can have those connotations, but if you're trying to apply it to a marriage, I think it means understanding. You know, when they say, you know, a man wants a submissive wife, I think what they're saying is they want a wife that's understanding. Like, yo, I had a long day at work, 12 hours. I had to hear from my boss. I got some dumbass co-workers. Motherfuckers can't drive. I almost got in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? Like, very stressful. I had a long day. You know, I don't think they want to, like, they want to come home to peace, tranquility. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to come home to like, and I'm not using that to be mean. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but they don't want to come home to that. They want to come home, baby, how you doing? Let me rub your back. You want to relax? Or they just want to come home to just quiet. It's quiet. Oh, peace. Let me go home, lay down, take off my shoes. Whatever it is you do when you come home, let me do that. You know? And then say, hey, you know, read the room. We have to look, people have to understand what that means. Being able to do that. You know? Like, oh snap, he came home, he doesn't look too happy. I can feel the energy. What can I do to put him at ease? And I think that is being submissive. Understanding when
there are a lot of women who think like that.
But and that's it. But when they hear it, I don't know. I can't even get it out because that's crazy. But that's submissive is understanding.
I'm gonna get killed for this. I'm sorry.
No, but that's how when I hear submissive, I hear understanding. you understand, you're able to read the room, you're able to read the signs and know like, oh snap, maybe now is not the time, talk about it later, you know. But again, we might get flamed for this. But again, I think that's what men mean when they say, I want a submissive wife. Like, hey, all right, calm down, relax. I got this. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, now if you did something wrong, you didn't got caught up, you didn't fucked up, you have all rights to get chewed out. All rights. Like, we have to be accountable. Just as much as we're gonna hold ladies accountable, we have to be accountable to ourselves. So, I don't know. That's what I think when I hear submissive.
It's 6 right now. You want to do the NFL real quick?
Yeah. So that's our 2 cents, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys like that. But now we're about to switch it up real quick. You know, this is man talk.
Curveball.
Talk about everything. Guess what time it is? What you got, brother?
So, in the spirit of this new NFL season, which started yesterday, I felt like I wanted to give our little 2 cents on who we think how this year will turn out, who will be the Super Bowl participants and the winner. And so we can come back to this a few months from now in February and kind of see who made some good predictions. So I'll go first. So, man, you know, I'm trying not to be biased.
Nah, let him. What you got? What you got?
From the AFC. I gotta go with the home team. I'm going with the Steelers, but I don't care. The NFC, I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw a little wrinkle in there. I'm gonna say the LA Rams.
Oh, okay.
I'll go with the LA Rams.
All right. So for me,
with the Steelers winning the Super Bowl, though.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so yeah, I gotta go with my boys too, man. We gotta go with the steel curtain. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me see. For the NFC, I don't know. I mean,
you gotta pick somebody.
I'm not a fan, but you know, one of my boys been putting some stuff in my ear. I might have to go with the Bucks, man. I might have to go with the
Bucks.
With the Brady-led Bucks.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't blame you. They look good. They looked good last night.
Hey, I don't know, man. They was doing their thing. But for everybody watching, yo, all my brothers out there, all our brothers, you know what I'm saying? That's how we talk. Y'all our brothers. Even if we don't know you, what's going on, brother? But all my brothers out there.
Yeah.
In the comment, yo, let us know who y'all rocking with this year. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to build a community here. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get that engagement, you know. Let us know who y'all rocking with for your football team. I want to know who y'all rocking with. You heard us. We going with the Steelers all day. The Ben Roethlisbergers. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, let us know who y'all rocking with. We'll definitely have some more updates with all the sports news as the season progresses. Definitely pull out your predictions. Who y'all think's gonna take it? You know, who's not? We want to know all of that. And if you like this type of content, you like what we talked about, please like, share, subscribe, hit that like button. We'll have a link to our social medias. We got an Instagram, we got a Twitter. We're on there. Talk with us, engage. If you got anything that you want to hear our thoughts and opinions about, hit us up on the Twitter, because that's where we'll be able to get all that and get back to you. But that's all I got. Anything you want to close out with, Brother Derrick?
That's it, brother. I'm just like I said, happy to be here for another week. See y'all next week for another episode of 2 Cents Podcast, and ready to rock.
All right, with that being said, we out. Peace.